We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
What up? We're back.
Football's back, baby. We ain't got to wait no more. We don't have to wait.
It's all real.
It's so real.
It's all real. We're back. We made it. We made it. The long, cold, dark off season of a couple months is over.
Thank the Lord.
It's back. We got real football tonight.
How
So
beautiful.
listen, we're on here trying to get this wrapped up so we can sit down and watch the game just like you all. So,
This
Rich,
is gonna be a great game. Baltimore, the
it's
Chiefs.
going to be a phenomenal game tonight.
I'm
You got the Chiefs going for a three-peat
Mhm.
because you know they're motivated for that kind of shit. So,
Yeah.
but
Fuck
listen, the birds are in Brazil,
Brasil.
Sao Paulo, playing at the stadium of the Corinthians Arena, which holds just less than 50,000.
Yeah.
It's wild to see another all the Eagles paint in another stadium,
Yeah.
but it's exciting. All things, Rich. Before we get into the game, anything surprise you about the roster, about the guys that got cut, guys that got let go, guys
No.
that stayed? That
No, not particularly. I mean, I was more surprised with Devin White being out and Isaiah Rodgers being out for Friday. That was a shock. But no, the cuts. No, I mean, you knew what you were getting at the wide receiver group. You know what you're getting in the running back room. It's cornerbacks deep, so yeah, I'm not surprised by anything. I think
Bradbury.
what?
Did
His-
Bradbury surprise you that they held on to Bradbury?
Well, he's also out for 8 weeks, so that's going to be
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to cut him and pay that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can give him the best thing if they want to do is they can cut him and just give an injury settlement because he's not going to play. Like, it's what they can do, or just put him on season-ending IR after he comes back. Like, this is his last year here. It doesn't, quite frankly, matter. You weren't paying that cap hit. It was too much. It's just, and then all of a sudden it comes out he's hurt.
Right.
or-
The coincidence? I think not.
Absolutely not. After they saw that he couldn't play safety, you're kind of just,
Right.
What can you do? You take the
Listen.
and you go with it.
Exactly. Right. But so, Rich, so the injury report comes out today. I think the news about Devin White was very surprising.
Yeah.
So he's out with an ankle injury. He's not going to play. And then the Isaiah Rodgers hand, he was limited in practice. He's out. Does the story about Devin White and him not being as impressive as they thought they might be, any concerns there?
No, I mean, I thought he looked good. So I don't know what the fuck they were
Yeah.
looking at. That was just very surprising to me. I hate the stories because I just don't fucking believe them. Like, unless it's from somebody credible, I don't believe anything Jeff McClain says. I don't believe anything that fucking ESP says. I mean, you have two leeches. Like, I really don't believe them. Players don't enjoy talking to them. So it's just one of those things. It's, oh my God, he's hurt, so let's make up a fucking story about it. I don't put anything into it. I just think from my eye test, I thought he looked good when he played. I don't know what anybody else saw because we were all talking about seeing Devin White fly all over the field, and he did well. So I don't understand, you know?
Yeah, and for me, like you saw very limited stuff in the preseason, right? You saw him play like a handful of snaps in the last preseason game, which is a completely meaningless game. You know, if you want, like, you know what you're going to get with him. You know that he's in a position to be able to fly all over the field. Are there going to be plays where he over pursues and gives up a run? Yeah. But you're going to take that with the idea that he's able to also read and react and, be able to blitz and get to the quarterback. So, like, I didn't see it. I just, to me, it seems like it's a whole lot to do about nothing, but you're going to see a lot of Nakobe Dean. You're going to see a lot of Zach Bond.
I expected to see them both. Like, that's my whole thing. I'm like, all right. I figured it was going to be Devin White and Nakobe Dean, like, and Bond be rotated in. I mean, I was expecting this from the jump. I don't think this has anything to do with, Devin White all not being what it is. I just think that's a load of shit. We've heard it time and time again with athletes in Philly where the media wants to fucking create a narrative because they need clicks and likes. Like, fuck off. Like, it's fucking pointless journalism, if you even want to call it that. It's not even fucking journalism. It's just bullshit. And it's fucking because media outlets will run with it. The stupid fucking radio stations are going to fucking run with it. Then everybody and their mother are going to chime in and say, I didn't want Devin White in the first place. Shut the fuck up. Let the dude, he's young. He's going to have a resurgence here in Philly. Things will be fine. Stop listening to fucking people who've never played sports or who look like giant child babies with giant fucking heads. ESP.
Listen, Rich, and I got to imagine you're going to see a fair share. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to get, I'm sure, his fair share of opportunities to be on the field. Probably you're going to see a lot of him on special teams, but you're also going to see, I think, a lot of opportunities for him, based on the fact that, you're talking about, you got four guys to rotate in that line, in that inside linebacker spot between Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, Trotter. You got Oren Burks. You're going to see those guys, and you're going to see probably a good rotation of those guys, considering you're going to face a Packers team that's going to want to establish the run. I'm okay with that. I like where they're at, considering I think the upside of what you're going to get out of your defensive line between Milton Williams, Jordan Davis. The thoughts on Jalen Carter are just off the charts. I think that, from everything that I've read, from everything that I've heard, you're talking about a guy who, all Pro Bowl is starting to be talked about in that elite category.
He's going to eat.
You're talking about it is
he's going to eat.
There were descriptions of plays at practice where you don't realize how he's destroying the play because it happens so quickly. Yeah. That you have to go back and watch the tape
I
to
think
be able to see it.
This is going to be one of those seasons where you saw the decline, you saw the drop off. Yo, Chris, what's up?
What's going on?
You're going to see, like, coming off of last year and the drop off because of the double teams and the triple teams because Jordan Davis was out of shape, Fletcher Cox eating. Like, this defensive line can be a real big problem if everybody plays their role. And if Jalen Carter, even if he gets double teamed, like, he's going to feast. He just can't take on three guys at one time.
Right.
This dude, you saw it last year when he first stepped on the field, how disruptive he was in limited snaps. And now he is a full-time player going up against that line. Good Lord. I pray for anybody who stands in that man's way, because he's going to eat. Like, it's going to be a fantastic season for that defensive line between him, Milt, Jordan. Freaking Nolan Smith's going to eat. I see Brandon Graham might sneak in there with like 2 or 3 sacks. He might have
Listen, snacks and sacks.
sacks. That's going to, oh my God, bro. That's going to be my fucking pillow store. Snacks and sacks. I'm going to sell you a pillow sack. I'm going to sell you a snack. Everybody gets a free bag of Doritos with every purchase of a pillow. Holler at your boy Rich. You can find me on Girard Avenue at Snacks and That'd be great. I might have to start.
Oh my God. But yeah, you're Rich. The way that they've rebuilt that defense in a short amount of time, they're young, but I think having that sage veteran coach in Vic Fangio is probably one of the most underrated offseason moves. And really excited to see what this defense looks like. You're going to be going up against the Packers team that was really impressive last year. The way that they went in the playoffs and it took care of Dallas, gave the 49ers all they could handle. You got the up and coming Jordan Love, who really kind of asserted himself and really just kind of took that torch and probably will be the next, the quarterback of their, franchise, signing the deal that he does. But you're going to face it. They got some good offensive weapons, right? They bring in Josh Jacobs, got a bunch of young wide receivers, right? You got, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, you got Jalen Reed, and you got tight end Luke Musgrave, who they're all really good weapons, and he just has to play point guard.
Yeah. I mean, that offense is tough. I mean, fantasy standpoint, I think everybody wanted a piece of anybody on Green Bay. And you also got whatchamacallit, Wicks. Wicks is there. Another guy, just raw talent.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard for him to break on the field because of his skill set. But, I mean, you got 4 very capable wide receivers, one of the top backs in the league, and a tight end who everybody's sleeping on. That's a big boy who can catch passes. So they're another one with pick your poison. Offensive line isn't as strong as the Eagles, but it's damn good. I'm looking at tonight's game and Friday night's game as the 2 NFC and AFC championship games. And that's how I look at this schedule and I look at this team. I think Green Bay is good enough. They should have beat San Fran last year. They didn't. They came up a little bit short. They're a tough team. They can make a run. And they can totally win the AFC. Yo, Joe, what's up?
What up, Joey?
What's up, boys?
Hey, Zach. How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm keep social distancing now, with the COVID numbers going back up. Keep my distance from Zach. Sorry, I had a little bit of a situation. Got it handled. So
catch you every time, Joe.
Oh man, we got to. You know what? Speaking of social distancing, everybody's got to keep the distance from Nick. Did anybody hear him on the radio today? He sounded terrible.
Nick who?
Our coach.
Oh, really? What's the matter? Good.
Talk about it, Joe, because I was
I
inspiring young minds.
Oh, sorry to be a Debbie Downer.
What do you got? Just give me the rundown because I didn't see it.
No, I mean there's with the addition of the whole security thing down there, with everything going on with that there's rhinovirus, there's upper respiratory, there's like all these like ailments that are running rampant down there.
Hey, listen.
And Nick
Nick
sounds terrible. And I'm like, dude, maybe you should stay up in the box and just keep your distance for the team.
Nick, maybe you should just give your keys away, bro.
Hey, Joe, maybe he should just stay in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. Man, that'd be great.
We got this, Nick. We got
I heard they got great hospitals in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey, talk to me about Rich and I were talking about the Packers and the offense and where their young wide receiver, running back depth and the weapons that they can present when you put guys like, they've got maybe not to the elite level the Eagles have, but they've got a really solid young nucleus with, you got Jordan Love at quarterback, you got Josh Jacobs, and then you got the wide receiver core of Watson and Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I mean they I tell you what, you want to talk about a team that knows how to draft and a team that hits in the draft, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
And it's their system. It's their obviously it's the quarterback, but it's the offensive coordinator. He gets everybody on the same page, and they can mix the run and the pass equally. But that's been the talk all week about how they are so good at the play action pass. Like that's their bread and butter. And then you add a guy like Josh Jacobs, who is he's better. For me, I think he's light years better than Aaron Jones. And I think they're relatively healthy as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what our game plan is now with the news that Rodgers and White aren't playing. Which, man, that was a real kick in the ass hearing that. But it's crazy to see how well this team the Packers have ascended offensively, with their coordinator and Jordan Love, how they kind of just, rose to the occasion all year and got better as the year went on. And I still can't believe they lost that Niner game. That blows my mind that they lost that Niner game. But they're going to be tough because our defense is young. There's a lot of question marks, especially now with Rodgers and White out. And the new coordinator. So hey, Q Mitchell, Keely Ringo. Let's see what your boys got, man. It's time to show your pro level how much you've learned in training camp. So we'll see, man. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, listen, I got to imagine that Vic Fangio is not one to mince words, right? We heard that all throughout the offseason. So the fact that he has only been around Quinion Mitchell for for a span of 4-ish months, right? And he's already seen enough to say I feel confident enough to leave him out in the field, regardless of what down it is, inside or outside. That's he's not going to mince words. He's going to tell you. I mean, he was not shy about telling people their business this offseason. So I feel pretty good in knowing that that's the guy that they picked, and they feel like he's ready to step into that role. And that only makes that defensive backfield stronger, right? It would have been stronger had Isaiah Rodgers been in that next spot, but you're going to look at Keely Ringo, you're going to look at Quinion Mitchell and Darius Slay and Cooper DeJean. You're going to see what you got, and I think they're going to get tested early, right? The fact that Green Bay is going to give you a good balance of running Josh Jacobs down your throat and giving you the opportunity to put 3-4 wide on a field and spread you out. So I like what I see from where we are, and I'm excited. I'm excited about tomorrow and what tomorrow can bring.
Yeah, man, it's the best. It's like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that we're talking about a game on Friday, and a game in a country where they haven't played an NFL game before. But the silver lining to me is there's no other game on. It's just us and the Packers. If you have Peacock, if people are going to pay for Peacock, but luckily we get to watch it on NBC because it's in our broadcast area. But it's gonna be great, man. And you stay up late, watch the game, and then you got Saturday. It's not like it's Monday. You don't have to go back to work. Well, I work Saturday, but not until later. But so our regular Monday through Friday crew gets to partake in the having the morning after to recover. So I can't wait. This is what we talk about this every week, all year long, no matter what it is, offense, defense, coaching, whatever saga, whatever drama is going on. But hey, this is us, man. This is us.
It'll be really nice to have a meaningful game to break down and not have to create the topics to be able to go through. But on the offensive side, right, we've talked all offseason about the offensive weapons that they've added. Again, the best offseason move I think they made with all the signings they made is the addition of Kellen Moore and what Kellen Moore brings in terms of the offense. Rich, tell me about the thing that you're most excited about this Birds team and this offense.
Oh, scoring points, baby. Scoring points.
You better gas up them fireworks.
I am so fucking ready to see this team average 36 a game. And when I'm saying that, I don't think it's not in the realm of possibility for them to be the highest scoring offense this year. And I'm talking about mid 30s. I'm talking, let's go 34, 35, 36 points. Let's fucking do it. You're going to see a lot of motion. You're going to see a lot of movement. It's not going to be some stagnant high school offense that you just pulled a playbook from Bishop O'Reilly's School of the Blind like Brian Johnson did.
Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, Bishop Sycamore. He stole Bishop Sycamore's playbook, which you found out he stole from Madden 2001. Why it didn't work. I'm going to see, dude, I can't wait because I think Devontae Smith is going to absolutely crush this week. I just think it's going to be a lot of motion. You're going to see guys run patterns and utilize the middle of the field. And Jalen Hurts is going to have to make the decision of who to throw the ball to. Not because they're not open, it's just because they will be open. You are going to see a much different offense than the last year. And bring in Saquon Barkley. Let's see this guy go and run wild. Let's see him take a swing past 30 yards. Something that we haven't seen in a while. You know? Hi, Cal. Callie wanted to be on.
Hi, Cal.
She just hopped right up. She don't care.
I love it.
I love you. Come
nice.
On, goof.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like we're broken records, but seeing if this team stays healthy.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter.
You're talking about you got Saquon Barkley running behind the best offensive line he's ever been with and being surrounded by weapons where he's never had weapons like that around him at the quarterback position, at the wide receiver position, at the offensive line. You talk about pairing A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson.
That's crazy.
Double team one of them. And both of those other two guys are going to be single cover.
And Dallas Goedert.
and then you put Dallas Goedert back in the pattern. Put Saquon Barkley out in the flat. You have so many options that this team has the ability to be able to be prolific in so many levels. And listen, with as young as their defense is, there might be some games, Rich, where they're going to need to put up 35 points because they might give up 28. I'm curious to see how both of these shape out. And I'm excited because of the way that the season ended last year, how stagnant it looked on both sides of the field. Having the ability to be able to create space and create space for these guys, for not just guys, but these guys, this elite group of guys. Shouts, the hats off to Howie Roseman for being able to build and manipulate the cap to be able to say, it's Howie season, right? Howie is the guy. I love it. That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome, Joe. I love it. But yeah, it's exciting. So we got a lot to look forward to. What are your thoughts on the game being in Brazil?
I absolutely hate it. Next question.
There's
no fucking point to be there.
Yeah.
They don't give it.
Yeah, that's something I want. That's something I wanted to mention to you.
Traveling to Brazil, no offense to the country of Brazil,
right.
But it's not the safest fucking place to go. And there's raging wildfires right now toward the north. Who the fuck?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
You got the wildfires. Joe was mentioned
Ebola and COVID, and
every
SARS,
ailment from this side of the Mississippi, but it's
SARS,
wild.
and swine flu, and yep.
It's wild. And Rich, the thing that you just mentioned, it doesn't seem like the people in Brazil have wrapped themselves around the idea of the NFL coming. For instance, like you see when you see the NFL go to London, when you see them go to Germany, when you see the MLB go to London, when you see how they've organized these international events before, you see there's a like mountains of people there, tons of people traveling. I haven't seen almost anything. Like you see stuff up all over the city. You see the league plastering, content on social media. You're not really seeing almost anything.
They're very anti-social media. Yeah, they're really keeping that under wraps.
Yeah,
they haven't had a football game down there because honestly, they probably really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's why it hasn't happened there. Like, and you're trying to push your product and push your brand and branch out, but there's just some places that it's probably not going to work. It's not good for the players. It's not good for their psyche. They're going there as a business trip, but you can just tell, unfortunately, that a lot of the coaches and the players haven't been able to hide their real feelings about it. But it's you just hope that it doesn't become a distraction, and it affects how they play in the game.
Yeah,
right.
You want this to be, a playoff. I mean, it's the first game of the year, but you have two playoff teams. You have two teams that are picked to finish, arguably the first in the NFC, or second in the NFC, or third in the NFC. It's or maybe fourth, but it's a great matchup, but it doesn't have that same stigma or feel to it because it's in a place where it's not, it doesn't have that feel, and it doesn't have that extra oomph that you get when it's football time.
Well, and Joe, it's the kind of event that the Super Bowl's turned into, right? It's turned into a very big corporate event, and not necessarily as an event centered around the fans. I did not read, but I was listening to Ruben Frank and Dave Zangaro about the prep that the team made going down. Like they apparently sent a whole group of people from every department down to do scouting for whatever their particular department is. So they're trying to keep this road trip as normal as possible with, the food and the schedules. And apparently after the flight from Philly was 10 hours, even though you're only going over one time zone. And then they were going to stay up the whole day, the rest of the day, just to make today as normal as possible with the practices and the walkthroughs. But they're going to they don't play again until next Monday night. They're going to need the time to be able to come back from this trip and recover and not play next weekend until Monday night.
Yeah.
But, now that week 5 bye that I was like really complaining about might come in handy because they're going to start this off in a way where no other team has had to start the season off that way.
Yeah, and another thing too, and I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference or not, but the Eagles were smart and got ahead of the game with where they're staying. Apparently, they're staying like right near the stadium. I think just a couple minutes away. And the Packers, I don't know if they waited too long or if they just decided to go a different route. They have like an hour and a half or 2 hour bus ride to the stadium.
Well, and this weekend in Brazil is they're celebrating their Independence Day this weekend. Yeah. So apparently there's a whole bunch of shit going on in the city that they're expecting, like huge influx of people and traffic and stuff. So listen, the closer they can be, the more that they can keep this normal, the better off they're going to be.
Yo, get in,
Right. Get in, get a W, and have the plane fired up and ready to roll.
Leave the shoulder pads, leave the jerseys, get
Yep.
wallets.
Yeah. Get the guys home. Get the guys
you-
home so they can get some rest.
Did you see the pictures of the plane they took down?
No.
They almost have like little cubbies. Like,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not like
yeah.
actual seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, because it's fucking 10 hours. Jesus Christ. Imagine Mailata sitting on a fucking little plane seat for him and Lane for 10 hours. Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
It's so stupid. Go to and again, it's nothing against Brazil, but go to a country that actually fucking cares about football.
Right.
Like, would you go to fucking Japan and play in Japan? Would you play in China? No, because they don't give a fuck about football. Like, why are we going to Brazil? Like Mexico City, I get it. It's at least close to the
Spain.
Texas.
Yeah.
Spain.
Few-hour drive.
Yep.
Like, get it. But you'll see the influence, and the influence is like Europeans. Like, yeah, they enjoy it. You know, go to Wembley Stadium. Go to fucking Munich. Like, but stay
Yeah.
there. Go to fucking. Why don't they play in Ireland at like Notre Dame did? Like,
Yeah.
same fucking thing. Like, that's awesome. Like, places that you want to go. No, I want to fucking travel 10 hours to Brazil in a place that really doesn't even like my team's colors. I'm told I can't leave the fucking room. And we're rampant with forest fires, and so the air quality's poor. Good job, NFL. You should have just canceled down there and made it at the link. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's so dumb. It's just so dumb. Because if one of our players is fucking hurt down there, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Listen, we do this before every game. We need a prediction
Ooh.
and a player of the game.
Okay. Oh, man. I got 42-37 Birds. 42-37. And I'm going to say it is a Slim Reaper type of game. I'm going to say like 8 catches, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts gets it done with his legs. Saquon puts up 100 yards rushing. And the defense creates a turnover at the end to stop Jordan Love from scoring. And that is going to be on our boy, Quinyon Mitchell. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait. 42-37 Birds.
Nice. Joe, what do you got?
I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring just because it's the first game of the year, and both teams are going to kind of be feeling themselves out, especially with the Eagles and more. I mean, they're going to score points. Don't get me wrong, but and they're playing halfway around the world, so it's I got it 30 Eagles 30, Green Bay 31. No, I'm kidding. Eagles 30. Eagles 30. Eagles 30. Packers 27. And if it holds true with the way things were with the Packers last year, I mean, I know they have a different coordinator, but I think it's going to be a Saquon Barkley day. I think it's going to be a combination of the run and the pass. I think he's going to get a good chunk of yards on the ground. So I could see him possibly getting 2 touchdowns and probably 150 yards total offense. But he's going to be great. I mean, dual threat, blocking, picking up the blitzer, catching the ball, running the ball. And I think he gets a fourth quarter touchdown. He breaks a 35-yarder down the sideline to get them to the 30-point mark. I think the Packers will score late, but I think we'll be up by 10, and the Packers will score late.
Listen, Joe, Saquon Barkley was the guy I was thinking of, but you didn't pay him all that money to watch him do nothing. So I do, but I think something about this game makes me feel like this is a Jalen Hurts game. This is like I'm going to show you. Yeah, this is like I'm going to show you that last year was an aberration. So I think I think he throws more than 300 yards. I think this is a 300 plus 3 touchdown tutty game. I think you get 100 yards from Devontae. I think you get 100 yards from AJ. You spread the other couple hundred around. I think that this is a big game for Hurts. I think this is a way for him to kind of assert himself and let everybody know that this team is going to be something to reckon with. But don't be surprised if Jahan Dotson gets behind the defense. Something tells me
The
that
forgotten man.
that they got something in the they got a play in the works where everybody's getting covered underneath, and he just jumps over top of the safety and just Jalen Hurts just lets one fly late in the game, put the game away. This is like a 35-21, 35-24 game for me. This is a game that I'm just really excited to see what this offense can be and to see really how this overhauled team can really just kind of put it together. And I think if they can do that in these first couple of weeks and really kind of they can really assert themselves as the elite upper echelon in this NFC, because this NFC is going to be tough with Detroit. It's going to be tough with San Fran, but you're going to get, I think every time they step on the field, that other team's going to get their money's worth.
Don, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you for pointing out Jahan Dotson and saying, they have a play drawn up for him, because you've never did that with Quez. I think you should have gave Quez the respect that he deserved. And you never said, oh my God, they're going to throw deep Quez and it's going to put the game away.
That's because Quez had Waldo's for hands.
Did you see the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
No.
Well, like he turns like Mr. Fantastic into like noodles before he and that's what it reminds me of. Like, oh, he's got like noodle hands, and it just falls.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Listen, the Packers anybody, is there anybody on the Packers team that we didn't talk about that you're keeping an eye on?
I'm just excited for the Jair AJ Brown matchup. That's going to be fun to see. I think that's why Slim is going to have a great game, and the rest of the weapons. Jair's good. I mean, that's a lockdown, shutdown corner. It's going to be hard to be physical with AJ Brown, though. So he's going to win the physicality matchup. But Jair gets it done. He's a guy.
And you got Xavier McKinney back there. That was a good offseason move for them.
Who do you think, Cal?
Yeah, it was. My thing is, I want to see who's going to rise to the occasion and be cause havoc or at least be near the quarterback or move him off his spot. Who's going to be that guy that's going to consistently be able to do that tomorrow? And it's going to be interesting to see. Bryce Huff hasn't been used to playing as the main guy, the main snap guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares against the Packers with doing that, and against a really good running back in Josh Jacobs, who's really going to test him, running the ball and catching the ball at the backfield. So I think that's a position and a matchup to watch to see how Bryce Huff handles that.
Nice. All right, fellas, before we jump out of here, the game tonight is now slated to start at 8:40 because there are really bad storms in Kansas City, maybe. Sort of. They cleared the field, cleared the stands. So
Henry run.
You know really what's going on, right? You know what the delay is.
What?
Taylor
Swift
must have had something going on. Maybe she got stuck in traffic. Rain. You know what I mean? She bumped into a big group of her Swifties, which I'm not knocking any of the Swifties out there, but
sure.
I kind of am. But anyway, maybe that's what it is. I mean, a delay in a football game there's got to be lightning close by. Got to be lightning.
Gentlemen, before we jump into final thoughts, give me a guy in the NFL that you're keeping an eye on, not on the Birds.
Man, guy in the NFL I'm keeping an eye on, not on the Birds.
Can I give you mine?
Yes.
Caleb Williams.
I was going to say Jaden Daniels, so that's good choice out of you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Caleb Williams can do with the weapons. I think part of that might be watching Hard Knocks and seeing him, have some weapons around him, and he's got a young wide receiver core. He's got DJ Moore, who they just locked up. You got Roma Doomsday. You got
Keenan.
Keenan Allen, right? You got DeAndre Swift. So he's got some good weapons, guys that he can just kind of distribute the ball. I'm keeping an eye on him. He's a guy I'm excited to check out throughout the season.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels for me, and it's terrifying because he's Washington's future. So that's a guy I'm paying close attention to, because if he is as good as advertised, he's going to be a problem in the years to come for the Eagles.
Here's the thing, though, Rich. At least for this year, they got nobody. Like he's got, like, the shame of it is that, like, the shame about moving on from Dotson, and it's not really a shame because I really don't give a shit, but, like, you got Scary Terry. Their number 2 wide receiver is OZ from last year. Olamide Zaccheaus is their number 2, and then Noah Brown.
Bro, they did not try to even trade for Ayuk. So what was the point of doing that? I thought they were going to stack him up and get Ayuk, and that was like the rumor. Oh, they might make a push. They didn't even make an offer. Like, it's hilarious. It's Washington being Washington. It's Josh Harris at his finest. Fucking terrible owner. Fuck.
Joe, give me a guy not on the Birds.
Not on the Birds. I want to see how long it takes. The Patriots named Jacoby Brissett the starter.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I want to see how many games he plays before Drake May gets a shot.
Okay.
I think Drake May pretty much won that job, but I think they went the safe route with starting Jacoby. I think he's shown enough in training camp and in these preseason games that he can and will be the guy. But is he gonna get lost in the shuffle there in New England? They don't really seem to have much of a supporting cast either, like in Washington. But I think he definitely has some potential to be a starter for years to come.
I like it, gentlemen. Final thoughts.
Football.
What do you got for final thoughts?
Football is back. We're ready to have our heartstrings tugged on, ripped out, spit on, thrown on the ground, and then picked back up and put them back in again. This is the year where in the next, 4 or 5 months, every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever the Birds are playing, whenever your fantasy teams are playing, your mood is going to be influenced by football. And
100%.
Have it any other way. I'm just excited for football season to come back. The camaraderie, the talking shit to other people at your work or neighbors or friends who aren't Eagles fan. And, it's just fun. And just sitting there shooting the shit. Anybody watches football. Even, people who say they don't, they got a team. So I'm just excited for the season to get back. Nothing hard hitting, nothing emotional, tonight for my final thoughts. It's just, thankful that football season is back and the Phillies are getting hot again. Let's go. Go Birds.
Listen, I'm the same way. If you can't find sports on TV, you don't have a TV. This is by far the best sports season of any part of the calendar, right? Because you're coming in on football. You got baseball playoffs about to start. Hockey's gonna be starting up soon. You got the Mad Russian coming in, right? You got the Sixers starting. You got college football. Like it's a great time of year. And speaking of that, final thought. I saw really cool video. Guy at Oklahoma did a really cool thing. He took all of his NIL money and redistributed it to every walk-on, and gave all of his NIL money to all the guys that walked on they're part of their squad, which is just, it's really cool. It's really cool when you see guys that pay it back and pay it forward, and it's just I don't know. It was just a cool story that I came across.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's great, though.
You got anything, Joey?
I'm gonna go. I mean, we're talking birds, and I want to jump on that too, but I don't want to beat a dead horse or what is
Beat
it?
it, Joe. Whatever you got to do.
You gotta feed a fed horse. It's not politically correct.
Feed it.
Fuck that shit.
Whatever you want to do, Joe.
Fuck that shit. No, I actually am gonna go down the whole Goodrow family thing. Not to make it a sad or depressing topic, but just going down that road and talking about the two brothers, Johnny and his brother, and that whole scenario and how that could have been avoided. There's so many things in this world that are preventable, and we say it every day, and we say it every time we hear a tragedy happen like this. Like, don't drink and drive, don't have a drink, don't get in the car. Like, I've really, over the years, I used to be bad myself with that, drinking and then getting in the car and driving, a lot of times not responsibly, and it really makes you think, and it really puts things in perspective when you see and you hear about stories like this. I mean, you have Ubers, you have Lyfts, you have friends, you have family, you have, just make a plan. Just have a plan. There's always somebody available to come and get you. Or if you're going to drink, stay home. If you don't have someone to come and pick you up, or if you don't want to pay for someone to pick you up, have your drinks at home. And situations like this can be avoided. I've had multiple family members pass because of stuff like this, and it really is avoidable. Oh, I've only had a drink, or I'm just buzzed, or I still feel okay. Like I'm still okay. When you have to keep telling yourself that over and over again, you're not. Right. You're just not. Impairment starts at the first drink. Me being a DOT driver, my blood alcohol level has to be even lower than a normal person's. Mine has to be a 0.04, which is, for me, like a guy like me, that's like one drink. One drink leaves your body. It takes 1 hour for one drink to leave your body. Think of that. How many times do we go to a bar, go to a party, or whatever it may be, a function, and we have multiple drinks, and we leave in an hour, or we leave in 2 hours. That stuff is still in your system. So it's sad because, and it's frustrating, and it's aggravating, and it's irritating that it still continues to happen. And now this, their sister now has lost both of her brothers. They were supposed to get married she was supposed to get married the next day. And now, instead of planning getting married, she's having to plan a funeral for both of her brothers.
That's the thing that pisses me off, is that it's so avoidable. It's so avoidable that, like, there's so many ways that you could handle it, that it's still mind blowing that people still don't take advantage of it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just fucking frustrating.
Yeah. Well, sorry to bring
listen.
the whole vibe right off of a Brazilian cliff. I apologize for that, fellas.
No.
In wildfire. That's what you did.
Right into the wildfires.
Into the wildfires.
That's it. Rich, take us home, because we can give a giant fuck you to drunk driving.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. You stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. I'm Rich. We got Joe. We got Don. We're drunk on broad. And as always, we're going to keep it pretty light for the fucks tonight. Fuck drunk driving. Fuck Philadelphia media, because you're doing a real shit job again, and it's really starting to piss me off. Keep Devin White's name out your motherfucking mouth. All right? Find real journalism and do your job. Stop being fucking bloggers who think they know everything, and their inside source is their cousin's friend who sells cheesesteaks down at the fucking lake.
Ooh, are they good?
No. Campos, you don't want that. But and as always, it's fuck to Cowboys. Let's go. Go Birds. Baby.
Yeah, go Birds.
So, Rich, are you a Deshaun Watson fan this week?
Oh, fuck Deshaun Watson. Thank you.
Yeah, but you want him to win
Why?
because they're playing the Cowboys.
If the game,
I put you in a tough spot.
yeah. Oh man, no. I'm a Jerome Ford fan. Let's let Jerome.
Listen, Joe, it's regular season. They could tie.
They can tie. All right, give them a tie. Fuck them both.
Whatever works out best for us, right?
I agree.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-T-L-E-S!